for this weekend at Barbagallo. Craig Donis, hey, he had a really good run in Adelaide. Came into this weekend second in the points in the Thirsty Camel Commodore. He's a bit further back. Reece McNally's down the back of the grid for this race too. He's one of the local stars. He's taken 2 replacement new tyres, which puts him down the back. We've got 14 laps, final race of the weekend. The 2 winners so far on the front row of the grid. Walton with a points advantage though. Harris and Nathan Pretty, one of the veterans, he's next. Then David Cedars, then Kim Jane. Away we go, the run down to turn 1. The V8 Utes are loose, and Jesse Dixon has got the jump and sweeps across. Pretty is through in a 3rd spot. David Cedars, car number 8, championship leader after the opening round on the streets of Adelaide. And I don't want to be Jeremy Gray right now, because once you're on the outside of Barbagallo, one car down the inside, there's usually another one following.
Absolutely. It's a tough little track in the opening lap, very tight and a lot of bump and grind. So we can see that now.
Oh, that's Jared McLeod in the McMahon Mining car. That's brand new this weekend. That is a new ute for Jared. He's virtually put it together himself. Got here and found that it had been damaged on the trip across here. Walton gets it done. Now, Remco Ford is a rocket ship. I don't reckon they'll catch him from here because he's been fast all weekend. The reverse grid race yesterday, he blew away more than half the field and got to 2nd from 19th on the grid. They are going to need something special to chase down the former Rookie of the Year as they come over the top of the hill, down to turn 7. Look at Nathan Pretty down the inside, trying to make a move and hang Jesse Dixon out to dry. He's up for the challenge.
Now, Roll Harris got to run. He's got to run on Nathan Pretty there. He's going to go down the inside.
Look at this, 4 wide in the background there for a moment. It is a standard V8 Ute race, but Royal Harris, reigning champ, car number 1, through to 3rd spot. Oh, Adam Marjoram sideways on the way in. Not by himself, I think he got help there. No one does anything in Utes by themselves. Someone helps. They're caring and sharing.
Need to know a good panel beater in this category.
Or be one yourself, it's cheaper. Walton leading, Jesse Dixon under fire. Look at them lined up. Harris is in there, Pretty, Cedars, Kim Jane. He's won here before. He won the round back in 2012. Andrew Fisher is right there. Elliot Barber in the Just Car Insurance Commodore. Marjoram and Ryan Hansford, who's back into a Ford this weekend, rounds out the top 10.
Now, Roll Harris had a really good run out of their bowl there.
Well, Jeremy Gray had a good one as well. He's just gone straight past Sam Barry, the Kiwi, who is running this weekend.
While they're all dicing here, Walton is just going to skip away.
Royal Harris is up for the challenge. He's in the door at Jesse Dixon at turn 7. Straight on through. Dixon will pick it back up, and he's trying to cover the line because Nathan Pretty, championship contender last year, he's down the inside. And look at them all line up. They'll try to hang the Heyman Reese Commodore out to dry here.
Yeah, not a good spot there for Jesse. He's going to try and get back in the queue somehow.
Oh, that's one way to try to do it. David Cedars wants to go on with it, but probably should just roll off the throttle and get them all through. We jump on board the Auto One car, the Extreme Performance Clutching car with Adam Marjoram. He's another of the Western Australians. There's, I think, 5 or 6 from county this weekend that know their way around. And he had a good run yesterday, P4 on his home.
I think he's locked a tyre there.
I think he locked 2, maybe. And he loses a spot to Ryan Hansford, who sneaks on by.
Craig Dontis now getting up to the back of that group. Now, Dontis actually put a couple of fresh tyres on the front of his car. He's been struggling with understeer all weekend, so he's hoping this is going to help the balance of the car.
Hansford here on the outside. It's not all over. Ooh, that's not going to help. Excuse me. Round the curve. You don't want to straddle that one. It's big. It's easily going to...
Dontis.
Yeah, that's Craig Dontis. Thirsty Camel Commodore on the scene.
Can't do a lot.
It's all going on here. There's pushing, there's shoving, there's rubbing, there's banging. Look at that. That's Wayne Wakefield down the inside as well. Good stuff. And they're all still on the road. Famous last words. Oh, there's another one. Dontis assisting Wayne Wakefield. This is the replay to start, and Jesse Dixon just nailed it.
He got it absolutely right and covered his line really quickly there, and Walton couldn't really do anything.
Pretty got a good jump. Harris, this is on board. Away we go. Adam Marjoram making ground. There's Elliot Barber. A little bit slow away. Jared McLeod behind the white and blue Commodore, and it's 2x2 all the way around there. And This is on here. This is still fighting tail of the top 10 and just outside the top 10 as well. Wakefield with Marjoram. They don't mind going around corners, assisting one another. Just that they're using the doors and the mirrors, that's all.
Down the inside now. Wayne Wakefield, he won't give him much room.
Well, he's trying to get back in. He's trying to cover off because he knows that while he's out wide, someone will try to get in, and it's Ryan Hansford who's trying to sneak on by. But out front, Chris Walton, 2.3 seconds. He's got a really nice, comfortable margin. Came into this weekend third in the points and has really put on the speed.
I tell you what, you'd want to have a Falcon in this category, wouldn't you? They seem to be running away with it.
What? Hang on. Rewind. What sort of car have you raced for the last 6 or 7 years in V8 supercars?
Oh, I'm a Holden through and through, but tell you what, Chris Walton and Roll Harris, they've just disappeared into the distance, and we've got a gaggle of Holdens here battling it out.
Wakefield gets back at Marjoram. Hansford will go along too. Just have to pick myself up off the floor. A Holden bloke giving some Ford guys a rap. That doesn't happen. Of course, Tony will be back with the V8 supercars at the Pertec Enduro Cup with Tim Slade in the Super Cheap Auto Commodore. This is willing. This is really good, but no one's been dispatched to the scenery.
I'm just getting a few tips here. I can't wait to get back behind the wheel, though.
Oh, gee, it's Tim's car, though, mate. You want to go steady on. Look at this, McLeod assisting Marjoram twice, 3 times, giving him a push around.
Morse code.
Tap, tap, dash, dash. Go, go. Up and over this rise through 2 and 3. Long left-hander, and you don't do that to the Yokohamas, the left front. They don't run a slick tyre in the use, they run a groove tyre, but nevertheless they can only cop so much. But this guy, he's driving it beautifully. Chris Walton has got the fast car, the Ford leads the way. The margin's 2.7s back to the reigning champion, Royal Harris. Walton on target for the race win and the round win. Back at Barbagallo in Perth, and I challenge you to find a V8 ute in this race without a bump, scrape, dent or bent panel, because there are not too many. It's the final race of the weekend in round 2 of the V8 Ute Series, protected by Hawkeye. We're on board with Adam Marjoram in the Auto 1 car. He's 16th, where he would rather be. Tony D'Alberto is out in front. That's where Chris Walton is. He stretched the margin, 4.8 seconds, but Nathan Pretty now sits P2.
Yeah, Nathan's done a great job to get past Roll there, and as you mentioned, everyone's battling really hard out there. Probably isn't a straight panel, but hey, it's the last race. We want to go away from the weekend with a big result.
Well, this is how Nathan got it done on Royal Harris. He took him right to the inside of the road, but he stayed with it and got on through. A little bit late getting here this weekend, Nathan Pretty. And his young son had a little bit of time in hospital, so he's been the good dad before he flew to the West. And Royal Harris is being the rally driver. He's out wide through the dirt. Jesse Dixon back to 4th, then Kim Jane, Andrew Fisher, David Cedars, points leader coming into the weekend. There he is, the Invisigard Ford. Elliot Barber, Wayne Wakefield and Ryan Hansford. That's the top 10 as it sits. And I mentioned before in the first part of the race, long break since the first round on the streets of Adelaide, but it will get busy for the Ute guys through their next couple of events. They'll be with the V8 supercars as we make the move through the middle of the year, which is winter, but it's warmer in the northern states where we like to be, particularly you and I. We're Melbourne boys, getting to Darwin and Townsville. Good time of the year to do it.
Absolutely, and Jesse Dixon's having a bit of a go at Roll. Roll seems to be struggling a little bit. He's sort of dropped off the pace.
Ooh, this is John Wood up over the curve on the Yokohama replay with George Mediki, who he was really lucky yesterday because he clipped the stranded car of Matt Nolan and had a look at some in-car vision of that, and that could have been really, really bad. But he's out there at the moment. He's 17th. This is Jeremy Gray, who is hustling and muscling, keeping up with Jeremy McLeod, who, as we mentioned, is in this brand new car. He's not from Western Australia, Jeremy, but his sponsor is, so he very much considers this a home round weekend. And at the moment, he's P12, just on the fringe of the top 10. This is Willing. This is Adam Marjoram, who's been attacked by just about everyone. That's Sam Barry, Kiwi driver, who has joined the series this weekend. George Elliott there, Reece McNally on the move forward from rear of grid, the red Stratco Commodore. Started P30 because he took some replacement tyres, and at the moment sits in position 20. So he's got through a third of the field.
It's picking off 1 a lap at the moment, so probably going to run out of laps, I think.
Yeah, but I reckon the way these guys are going, he might get a few more because they've assisted themselves. Barry out over the curve. Mediki is just behind the wake-up IC Commodore. Can't say that the Utes don't race. Look at this, locked up. Barry in too deep. Medeki's through. Not quite.
I don't think it'll be a straight panel.
Nope.
A round tyre. There's going to be nothing left of these cars by the end of this race.
And we wouldn't expect it any other way, would we? Walton out front. There's that margin, 5.5 seconds. He's got this one completely under control. There's no problem with that. He's on target to win his second race of the weekend. And with that reverse grid race in the middle of the weekend, very rare that anyone ever clean sweeps a weekend because it depends on how many cars are inverted for that reverse grid. But he's had a win, a second, and he's on target for a win. So in terms of the championship, that's really good stuff. But it's only the end of round 2. There's 6 more after this one. So there's a long, long way to go. And Jeremy Gray just covering off a little bit there, running down the inside. Nathan Pretty's got away. He's comfortable in second. Ryle Harris ain't comfortable. That new car, it's not new anymore. It's got a couple of dents in the door, but they're all lined up ready to have a go, and just 2 laps to go. So no doubt that there will be a move made here. By who and on who is the next question.
Well, I think Kim Jane there, he's looking pretty good in that little battle pack. He's going to have a crack. Jesse Dixon will have him all in his mirrors, trying to defend, but also trying to keep the pressure on Ryle just for these last couple of laps, see if we can get back into the top 3.
Speaking of laps, I know it's a bit hard for you being this year an enduro driver, not full-time in the V8 Championship. The co-driver sessions at some of the rounds are no longer in existence. What are you doing to get ready for Sandown, Bathurst and the Gold Coast?
Look, I'm trying to get myself in a few cars. I'm actually racing next weekend in a Ferrari 458 with Tony De Felice, so at the GT round of Phillip Island. Looking forward to that, and we've got a couple of test days coming up, so I think we'll be right come Enduro time.
And come to think of it, GTs are with us for the Castrol Townsville 500. You don't reckon you can convince Tony to give you a steer? One Tony needs another.
Hey, if we can have a good result at Phillip Island, anything's possible.
Oh, well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. 1 to go in this final race of the V8 Utes. Walton, 5.7 seconds. You can pencil him in for this one. Here's Jerry McLeod hanging on. Look at Reece McNally. He got to the front of that pack of cars. He's got past Marjoram to 17th. That's a good drive. Oh, this is tight. McLeod and Gerard Gray getting away with it. But looking at the numbers, Tony, the way they sit, Walton will win the weekend. Ryle Harris, 3rd in this race. He'll have enough points up his sleeve to finish runner-up. And the final podium spot will go to Nathan Pretty. So a lot of the familiar faces and names doing the business in the Utes.
Absolutely, but Walton's just so impressive, just so much faster than the rest of the field, just cleared out. You know, the back half of this race, he's really just had it to himself. But that car is just so fast. Yeah, they're
going to have to really get their skates on for the trip through the next couple of rounds to catch this guy, because he stood up as a title contender. It'll be a win for Ford. Chris Walton, look at the map, look at the margin, it's miles. He's absolutely brained them this weekend, and he should be very happy with his work. 5.7 seconds, the margin back to Nathan Pretty. It's still going, by the way. Just because it's the last lap doesn't mean these guys all stop racing hard. Poor Adam Marjoram's been hung out to dry. Oh. He's going to get pushed across the line as well. He might just get him. Oh, I think he got there. He made it. He's worked so hard to finish 19th that he's ever worked before. Chris Walton wins. Nathan Pretty from Ryle Harris, Dixon, Jane, Fisher and Wayne Wakefield. Championship leader coming into the weekend, David Cedars, P8. There's George Mediki in 15th. Ben Dunn rounded out the top 20 as always.